The Western Roman Empire, once a beacon of civilization, crumbled in 476 AD. Barbarian tribes, driven by various pressures, had chipped away at the empire's borders for centuries. Welcome to Cryptic Mystic Vault, where we decode enigmatic symbols of history. Now, with a finality that still echoes through history, they tore it down. This wasn't a clean break, a single battle that decided the fate of an empire. It was a slow, agonizing decline marked by internal strife, economic instability, and relentless pressure from outside forces. In the wake of Rome's fall, chaos reigned. Where once a centralized authority had maintained order and enforced laws, now there was a patchwork of competing tribes and warlords. Roman systems of governance, taxation, and justice crumbled. The infrastructure that had held Roman society together simply dissolved. The Franks, a Germanic tribe originally from the lower Rhine region, were not the only power vying for control in the post-Roman world, but they were ambitious, warlike, and strategically positioned. Under their king Clovis, they embarked on a series of conquests that would lay the foundation for a new empire. Clovis's conversion to Christianity in 496 AD was a masterstroke of political maneuvering. By embracing the faith of the majority of his subjects, he secured the support of the powerful Catholic Church. This alliance proved invaluable in consolidating his rule and legitimizing his conquests. Clovis's successors continued his expansionist policies, gradually extending Frankish control over much of what is now France, Belgium, and Western Germany. But it was Charlemagne, Clovis's descendant, who ruled from 768 to 814 AD, who would truly transform the Frankish kingdom into a dominant force in Europe. Crowned emperor by Pope Leo III on Christmas Day, 800 AD, Charlemagne inherited a realm ripe for expansion and unification. The Roman Empire, for all its flaws, had been held together by a remarkably sophisticated system of governance. This bureaucracy, with its network of appointed officials, standardized laws, and efficient tax collection, had maintained order and facilitated trade across a vast territory. But this system, reliant on a strong central authority, proved ill-suited to the fragmented realities of post-Roman Europe. Communication networks broke down. Centralized tax collection became impossible. Local strongmen, often warlords or remnants of the old Roman aristocracy, filled the power vacuum. This fragmentation gave rise to a new social order, feudalism. At its heart lay a simple but powerful transaction: the exchange of land for loyalty and military service. Kings like Charlemagne found themselves ruling over vast territories with limited resources and manpower to effectively govern them. Charlemagne, recognizing the need for order in his sprawling realm, set about reforming and strengthening the nascent feudal system. He understood that his power ultimately rested not just on military might, but on the loyalty and effectiveness of his vassals. To ensure this, he implemented a series of administrative reforms that would shape the political landscape of Europe for centuries. He divided his empire into counties, each ruled by a count, a powerful noble entrusted with local administration, justice, and military defense. For strategically important regions, particularly on the fringes of his empire, he created duchies, larger and more powerful units governed by dukes. Charlemagne understood that true power rested not just on military strength or administrative efficiency, but on legitimacy. He needed an institution that could sanctify his rule, inspire loyalty in his subjects, and provide a unifying force across his vast and culturally diverse empire. He found that institution in the Catholic Church. The alliance between the Frankish kings and the papacy had been forged generations earlier with Clovis's conversion. Charlemagne, a devout Christian, saw the church as an essential partner in his imperial project. He actively promoted and protected the church, showering it with lands and privileges. He mandated tithes, a tax levied on the faithful, which provided the church with a steady stream of revenue and cemented its role as a powerful economic force. In return for his support, Charlemagne received something invaluable: the church's blessing. Charlemagne's empire, vast and seemingly invincible as it was, proved to be ephemeral. After his death in 814 AD, it fractured under the weight of internal divisions and external pressures. His heirs squabbled amongst themselves, dividing the empire into competing kingdoms. Viking raids, once a nuisance, escalated into a major threat, disrupting trade, raiding coastal settlements, and striking fear into the hearts of even the most powerful lords. The centralized authority Charlemagne had worked so hard to establish crumbled. Power devolved to local lords, the counts and dukes, who had been the backbone of his administration. They became increasingly independent, their positions becoming hereditary, passing from father to son, rather than remaining appointments subject to the king's favor. This fragmentation, while seemingly a regression into chaos, actually solidified the feudal system that Charlemagne had done so much to shape. Imagine a world where the Franks did not rise to power. Without their unifying force, Europe might have remained fragmented, with countless small kingdoms vying for dominance. The lack of a central authority could have delayed the development of feudalism, leading to prolonged periods of instability and conflict. Trade routes would have been less secure, stifling economic growth and cultural exchange. The spread of Christianity might have been slower, altering the religious landscape of Europe. In this alternate history, the Renaissance and the Age of Exploration could have been significantly delayed, changing the course of global history. Advances in art, science, and technology that we associate with these periods might have emerged much later, if at all. Europe, without a strong Frankish influence, would be a place of fragmented cultures and isolated communities, each struggling for survival in a hostile and uncertain world. This thought experiment highlights the profound impact that the rise of the Franks, and particularly the reign of Charlemagne, had on shaping the trajectory of European history. It reminds us that the course of history is never set in stone, and that the actions of a few can alter the destinies of many. Thank you for watching. And don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe for more explorations into the symbols that shape our world.